Well, it's been almost 3 weeks since I asked you guys your predictions on Toy Story 5. Since we've gotten more information about the movie, I want to see how much of your guys' theories have changed from the last time I did this video, well over a year ago now. And we're going to be doing this video one more time before the movie comes out, but that won't be for an entire year. Thank you to all the support on this community post, which got like over 96 likes and over 23 comments. Thank you guys. Sorry you guys had to wait a bit longer for this. I already said yesterday that my shoulder was a bit strained and I wasn't in the best mood for the last couple of days. But now I'm back, and now, with that all the way, let's read into these predictions. Alright, so we're kicking off the first prediction on one of my good YouTube friends, Unweathered Animator. How is this movie going to end, and how much from Toy Story 4 are we going to see make a return in this film? Also, I'd really like to see Zurg make a comeback in this film. Not likely, but would be awesome. Zurg is not likely in this movie, since we know that there's nothing controlling these multiple Buzz Lightyears now. It's just a crate of random high-tech Buzz Lightyears that gets stranded on an island, so there's nothing really controlling them or anything like that. Things from Toy Story 4 I hope come back, like Bo Peep, Ducky and Bunny, and Duke Kaboom. Ducky and Bunny seem sadly unlikely because the two actors have kind of retired or they've kind of done their own thing now that it doesn't seem like they're going to be coming back. I really hope Bo Peep comes back though, because everything we've been saying about Toy Story 5, it just seems like they're trying to forget about Toy Story 4. And that movie did some great things, and I know some people didn't love it, but they still should continue what they established in that film for this fifth movie and not just make that fourth movie pointless. Hopefully, they have things from Toy Story 4 in this next movie. Next prediction. I predict by the end of the movie, Woody will say goodbye to the gang, toys and technology will both coexist with child's playthings, with Bonnie balancing both screen time with her imaginary adventures with her toys. I would not like it if Woody just said goodbye again in this fifth movie. Not only would it be pointless to Toy Story 4, but you would kind of just repeat that ending too. For Toy Story 5, if you're going to make a fifth movie, you have to have a perfect, very earth-shattering ending, an ending that is greater than what Toy Story 4 did. I think the toys going with Woody to be a lost toy would be good, but now seeing this new plot of the lily pad and some of the new details we've gotten, I'm just really confused of what they're going to do and how this movie is going to end. Maybe toys and technology will coexist. I think that would actually be really cool to kind of balance the two concepts. So yeah, I don't want Woody to come back. I don't want Woody to say goodbye to the gang at the end of Toy Story 5. I would much rather the toys go with them, because if you're going to make a Toy Story 5, and people were kind of sad about the toys being separated at the end of Toy Story 4, you gotta have those characters together. I feel like that's kind of the whole point of why Toy Story 5 is even happening in the first place. Next prediction. Here's one prediction about Toy Story 5. Do you think the army of Buzz Lightyears will get out of toy mode and turn friendly and send back to a toy store, or will they stay as the villain arcs? I really don't know. That storyline with now hearing the lily pad as a villain, that just seems so out of place. It's like, how do they even fit into this movie? I'm guessing how they fit in, is because with like Woody and Bo Peep, since they're off in the world now and they're not in a kid's bedroom, they might stumble upon these army of Buzz Lightyears, and that kind of makes Woody think, oh, my best friend Buzz, and maybe he wants to see him, or maybe he wants to somehow find the toys to let them know what's happening with these Buzz Lightyears. And then maybe when Woody gets back to the gang has another problem with this lily pad, so now we kind of have these two contrasting stories at once. I really don't know. It seems so out of place now. And it's such a recycled storyline too, because we saw this in Toy Story 2 with all those Buzz Lightyears, and heck, even Buzz was a villain in Lightyear. So they're just gonna kind of do it again in this movie. It seems out of place, and for me, I'm very confused of how they even fit into the story, but I think by the end they could just be sent back to a toy store since they are advanced Buzz Lightyears. Maybe, but really, I don't know. Another one. I have one, but it might be sad but agreeing. If our main team becomes lost toys in the end, won't it bring a sad but closed adventure for kids and owners, because being played with helps toys create a happy life? They'll probably miss that moment. Probably, but we've seen in the movies how, yes, they're very happy when they're being played with, but what happens years and years later when the kid grows out of them? They become extremely sad, they feel abandoned, and I don't think it makes sense for the toys to constantly feel that for the rest of eternity, because if you think about it, the toys in Toy Story kind of have crappy lives. They get played with for a couple years, and then when the kid grows older, or if they get a tablet or whatever, then they're just abandoned and they feel like they have no purpose. It's like, so what do you really do? And that's why I think the toys becoming lost toys at the end makes sense, because you won't repeat what the ending of Toy Story 3 and 4 was, but you'll do something that's new, and the toys can finally have their happy ending actually together with Woody. It would be sad though, but it would be very bittersweet, and I think it would make sense. But again, given the new details we heard about Toy Story 5, I don't think that ending's gonna be likely anymore, at least for now. I don't know. Alright, since Andrew Stanton is directing it, I have a feeling it'll be a cautionary tale on over-reliance on technology. He did direct WALL-E after all, which had a similar premise. Lilypad will act as anxiety from Inside Out 2. First part here, yes, I think Lilypad will be exactly like anxiety. Why? Because she has a different perception on Bonnie, just like how anxiety had a different perception on Riley and wanted to do the right thing for her. Lilypad is probably the exact same way, where she just wants the best for Bonnie and wants to give her entertainment and happiness. But the toys also want to give her entertainment and happiness too, but they're not agreeing with each other. That's the same thing that happened with Inside Out 2 with anxiety and joy and trying to manage what happened to Riley. Other part. Someone who has really good intentions on knowing what's the best for her owner, but is incredibly misguided on how to properly approach it. Exactly. Bonnie will act out when she doesn't have her iPad, and the toys and her mom will see her as detrimental to her mental health. And because of that, she'll be given age limits to which use the tech. Probably, because if she's having this iPad very early and she's only in second grade now, since she's 8 years old, she's gonna have behavioral issues and there's gonna be a lot of drama that's gonna be going on. That's a great prediction, man. I love this because yes, this is very similar to what anxiety was in Inside Out 2. I love that. Next one is from my good friend Curious Mario. I'm very curious on the topic that I don't see anymore about the internet and how they're going to market Toy Story 5. Well, with Woody dolls in particular. If you remember correctly, Woody got his voice box taken away from him and gave his star badge to Jessie. First part, yes. That I'm very curious about. Will the Woodies for Toy Story 5 just have a button on his chest that you can click? Because you remember in Toy Story 4, he lost his pull string. Well, he gave his pull string to Gabby Gabby, and then his badge is now with Jessie, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be redoing that at all. It just seems like throughout the movie, he won't have a badge for the first time, which is kind of crazy to see. So I'm wondering how they're going to market that. By this, they'll only make Woody dolls with no pull string, and that's the main feature of Woody that kids would want to play with is his pull string, and listen to all the phrases that happen when they forget what happened in the fourth movie and go, Mom, why does Woody not come out with a pull string? And to forget the badge, yeah. I don't think Bonnie's gonna question where Woody is at all. I mean, if Pixar redoes Toy Story 4, then Bonnie might do that, but really, I don't think she should really care about Woody in this fifth movie at all. But the whole thing about marketing this movie, it's not just with Woody. I'm curious how they're gonna have posters for this movie concerning Woody and Buzz are separated. Or are they gonna have posters with them together? Or are you gonna have posters with them on two sides or something? I'm really wondering about that. Second to last prediction. My prediction is that Woody returns to Bonnie's house to realize that Lilypad is taking over Bonnie's personality to replace toys with iPads and video games, and Buzz finds out the army of Buzz Lightyears are taking over the toys, and Woody assembles Buzz and all of his friends and Bo Peep to stop the army of Buzz Lightyears with the new toys, like the Avengers Endgame, and Bonnie will return to toys and destroy Lilypad for good, and Andy will come back to get all the toys with Bo Peep and the other toys and the new toys for his first kid, and at the end of the film. I don't want Andy to come back, and especially with Bo Peep. If you remember in Toy Story 4, she said that she would never go in a kid's room again, so they better not redo that at all, because I love that commentary about Toy Story 4 with all the lost toys and wanting to go explore the world. They really did a great job at showing what the world is than just a kid's bedroom, and I hope Toy Story 5 does that a lot more. I don't want Andy to come back because I've already made a video about it, but it feels a bit nostalgia baity, and I'm tired of franchises and TV shows constantly relying on the past instead of just trying to do something new. I do think Woody, the Buzz, and all the other toys are gonna somehow defeat these Buzz Lightyears, but where? Maybe Bo Peep and Woody go to Bonnie's house and assembles all these toys, or maybe they fix the issue with Lily Pad first, then go defeat the Buzz Lightyears. It's like, what? It's pretty confusing right now. We don't know a whole lot. But again, those whole Buzz Lightyear storyline, it just seems so out of place from the movie, but hopefully they could make it work somehow. And the last prediction. One of my predictions is about the villains. We have 50 Buzz Lightyears, and then we have the new villain, Lilypad, who is the tablet one. I'm confused about how the 50 Buzz Lightyears has anything to do with Bonnie being an iPad kid, but I think maybe Lilypad could possibly be controlling the Buzz Lightyears. I don't know what she could do with them, but I have a feeling she could possibly be connected to the Buzz Lightyears. Probably, well, maybe if they're, well, they said the Buzz Lightyears are high tech, but I don't think Lilypad will have anything to do with them. And even then, yes, it's a very out of place storyline, and I'm just like, how does this even fit in? Hopefully they find a good way to fit it into the story, but right now, again, I'm pretty confused. And well, those are all the predictions that I got for Toy Story 5 from you guys. Thank you guys very much for all these predictions. We will do this video one more time in about a year when the movie is about to come out, like probably 10 days to a week before the film comes out. We'll do this one more time.